So this is Baruch Fleischman, your host for the TIKKUN Elevator KOLLEL reading today. Today we're on a planet that is moving through space at a tremendous velocity. And while we're standing here or sitting here or listening, the world is also turning. It's turning at a rate of 1,000 miles an hour. Do we have any inkling that that's actually going on? Because everything that we see, the way we understand it, is things are static. We always think in our mind that there is no change, but as the world turns, every day, every moment is a different opportunity. So now we're in the Zohar, and the Zohar is Parshas Toldos, and we're talking now about Yaakov a little bit, and Esav and different things. We're going back and forth. We're on page Reish Mem Gimel in the Mount B'Devash, and we're on Daf Kuf Mem Daled Amud Base in the Zohar. Now today the moon is traveling through the constellation of Capricorn. The sun, which we call Teves. The sun is traveling through the constellation for some time now in through Sagittarius, which we call Kislev. And now we're starting Rosh Chodesh Kislev. The interface between the old moon and the new moon is coming today. And so now we're in Rosh Chodesh, and we're in Rosh Chodesh mode. So let's start the Zohar here. And the Zohar says at the top of the page, it says, but we'll read the Matuk, Davar Acher. So here's another pirosh on what they said before, was the pasuk, V'yomer Kamada At Omar. It says V'yomer. Like you would say V'yomer Im Shemoa Tishma L'kol Hashem Elokecha, if you would certainly listen, truly listen to the voice of Hashem Elokecha. So he says like a Shechina Amra. There's a Shechina that's saying this. Maimer Achu. So the Shechina is saying this whole piece that we're going through. Let's say Of Hacha V'yomer. Also over here we have the phrase V'yomer. Hashchina Amra, and Shechina is saying that. Masha Kosv Lo Yaakov V'yomer Od Shimcha. The Shechina is saying to him, you're no longer going to be called Yaakov. Ki'im Yisrael, only Yisrael. Keden is Ader Yaakov B'darge the Bechebe Klala the Avaham. So he says Oz Nisater, then their Anpin is crowned. That is not Zer Anpin, rather Yaakov is crowned. B'Bedregaso Shebet in his level, which is Teferes is the middle line. Klal HaKolol HaAvos, and he incorporates within himself the midas of the Avos, and the midah of Abraham is the right side, which is Chesed, and the midah of Yitzchak is the left side, which is Gevurah. So the Matuk writes in, Ratzon Lovar HaTeferes Shebekavim Soy, it's in the middle line. KOLLEL has chug, it has chug within it. Now notice the abbreviation, chug stands for Chesed Gevurah. Shabo o achuzim Avraham v'Yitzchak, that Avraham and Yitzchak held on to those two pieces. V'achar sharah hasamach mem, and since the samach mem saw this, that is the samakel, sheyakov disater b'vgasach yonah, that Yaakov is now becoming crowned in this extremely high place. Az maksiv, so then what is written? V'yivarach oso sham, is that he blessed him there. V'shol, and the Zohar asked, my v'yivarach oso sham, so what to say, why did he bless him there? My choise bracha, so what's the bracha, the Matuk says? Ela de'odi le al kulhu, but he agreed to him, he admitted to him, he accepted the fact. Berkan de barchim aboy. So that his father, the father of Esav and Yaakov, Esav agreed, he understood. Shehodu lo v'hiskim al kol habracha shebarcha aviv. That he agreed and he admitted that was correct. Let's see what he means. Rabbi Shimon Pasach v'Omer, Rabbi Shimon opened this up and he said, B'ritzos Hashem darkei ish, l'ki yosem yesharim. So that Hashem really wants the path of a man, that his way should be straight. Gam ovav yashlim ito, and also his enemies, he uses the word yashlim. So yashlim means make peace with him. Pirish yihu shleimim imo, complete with him. In other words, a big peace. Tochazi. Kama the is lay the bar nosh, lehis tak the shivui begadu berechu. The Matuk says, Ba urei, come and see. Ad kama yeshlo the other the saka dracha b'darkei HaKodesh Baruch Hu, how much a person has to work on making his paths and the way that he goes through the world in the paths of HaKodesh Baruch Hu. Begin the be'eved b'kudi d'raisa in order to be able to do mitzvahs of Torah, going on in the Zohar. The ha'ukmuchu. So we explain this like this: the vadai trei malachim shlichim is the barnash mila'ela, his davga bahade chadamina v'chadi smola matok kigvar lamado. We already learned shebavadai there are two malachim shlichim yesh la'adam. You always have two malachim with you. Shluchim elav melamala that are sent to this person from up above. The hischaberim to join with him. Echad the yamina ve'echad the smola. One on his right side, one on his left side. We understand right and left, right chesed gevura. Ve'inin sahadin be bebarnash. And they testify about this person, about everything he does, because they're constantly with him. On everything you do, these malachim are always going to be there with you, going on. And now we start to call them, these malachim are now called Yetzer Tov or Yetzer Ra. V'korim as a base malachim Yetzer Tov Yetzer Hara Asi Barnash is the call. So a person comes and he wants to purify himself. The hishtadel bebikuda deraisa and start working on the mitzvahs in the Torah. And I'm going to go in the Zohar. How could Yetzer Tov is davak bay? So that Yetzer Tov that is clinging on to him. He says, going on, Kavar Ihu is Stakev Alhu Yetzer Hara. He has already overpowered the Yetzer Hara. Because why? Because you're listening to the shir, because you're learning the shir with me. And he's able to make actually peace with this. In other words, Ishtalim becomes one with it. I'm not sure what Ishtalim means exactly, because it means complete. But complete is also peaceful. So let's see, so the Yetzer Hara then makes a pact with him, makes peace with him. And he becomes a servant to him, that he yells nichna tachtov, to be humbled or beaten down before him. In other words, bowing down. But when a person goes to make himself impure, then you see that the other way goes a different way. This is that the bad part overpowers the good part. And we've explained this previously. Going on, Zohar. Vadai kadhu kad haku barnosh ase is the ko. When this person comes to purify himself, Zohar. Kama tekifi is take barnash kad is gavrahu Yetzer Hara tov matok. Kama chozek, how much strength mischazeket nishmas ha'adam is fortified the neshama this person. Yetzer Tov, when his Yetzer Tov mizgaver al Yetzer Hara, gives you strength. Then ovav yashli meto. Then you see when the Torah is going, then they make peace with you. They want to make peace with you. Pirush. The haku Yetzer Hara is kafia kamed the Yetzer Tov, so that the Yetzer Hara is then humbled before the Yetzer Tov. Shas ha Yetzer Hara nichnaf Yetzer Tov. So go Zohar. Shlomo. So this is a quote now from Shlomo. He said, I think it's in Mishlei. Let's see. I lost the place, so keep going on. Tov nikle. So he says, the Matuk writes that Tov lemish hu makel bikvodo is good for a person who lessens his own kavod, the kavod of makom, for the sake of the glory of his master, of the omnipresent one who is with us all the time. Because the erev lo, that is, and then what? He says, then he's going to serve you. My the erev lo. So what does it mean, the erev lo? Me hu the erev v'amar. Who's going to be the servant? Do Yetzer Hara. That's the Yetzer Hara. Then kad azil bar nash bepekadudi araisa. So therefore, when a person is learning Torah, doing the mitzvahs of the Torah, then gam ovav yashli mita. Then he'll find that he will be subjugating his enemies. The Yetzer Hara, and who is that enemy? That's going to make peace with him. That's the Yetzer Hara. But the awesome is sitrui. Let's see what this is. Mata translates umedechsev ovav v'lashon rabim. So he says, and those are on his side. So he says, why does it says ovav? Ovav is plural. He says, what enemies? We know there's an enemy the other side. So he wants to break it down. He wants to v'lashon rabim. So in other words, it's plural. Anam marbim kol kitos haros, and they're all different kinds of bad combinations. Habos mitzida that come from the side of the Yetzer Hara. Shagam came yeshlimu imo, because all of those other paths to get into trouble, they also make peace. Kol zeh hikdim Rebbe Shimon Devar as in Yaakov Esav. So now what we just heard is in order to give us an idea, a preface, a preliminary, to understand the relationship of Yaakov and Esav. Vama Tochazi. Begin the Yaakov because of the fact that Yaakov had faith and trusted in Hashem. And everything that he did, all the paths of his life, for the purpose of building up Hashem, or to bringing Hashem into the world. His actually translated all of his paths were the same of God, the Shmo Yisbarach, his blessed name. Ki gam ovav yashlim. So therefore it fulfills that phrase, that his enemies will then make peace with him. Vafarj does samakal, so he explains, who is this? This is the angel of Esav. Now, when they say angel, if you ever study astrology, that you'll see that they talk about the different planets and different kinds of things. So these are sarim. They're actually intermediate of a certain type that Hashem appointed to be able to be in control. It's like what would you call like a root of what is manifest in this world. Now, it's not the ultimate root, but it's a part. It's a root up above us. It's like, say, for example, we're in the Olam Asiyah, so there is also a root that comes for the Olam Yetzirah. And then behind that, there's a root behind that in Bria, all the way up. There are roots. All the way to get to Eric Anpen is a place extremely panimi that we know very little conception of. There's also an origin there. So he says, the Samakel, Chele v'tukve the Esav, the Ashli mimei the Yaakov. So this is called the Samach Mem. The Samach Mem is the ultimate force of evil on the other side, the male aspect of it, because there's a female aspect as well. Shehu kocho v'chuzko shel Esav, which is really the source of the strength and the power of Esav. Shehishlim im Yaakov, but it made peace with Yaakov. Again, the Ishdi made the Yaakov. So since he made peace with Yaakov, v'odile al inan berkon, and he admitted, he agreed, he gave his acceptance to the brachos that were given to him. The fisha samach mem hishlim im Yaakov v'hodelo im ozar brachos, and he agreed and he admitted that he got the brachos. Then ashlim im Esav, then you see that Esav was actually making peace with him. V'aldelo ishtadim im Yaakov v'gabi hakum b'mandad is b'kadalei lo ashlim im Esav. So this translates long peace. We'll see the matuk. The matuk is va'ad shelo hishlim Yaakov im mamona. So before Yaakov was able to go into a higher world, maybe the ultimate highest world, as we see before, that come to the source of where the power of Esav came from, he had to make peace. He had to overcome that in order to be able to make peace. And before he overcame that shorish, that root of this power of Esav, then Esav still didn't come around. So he says, Im amunisha nifkad al Esav, the one that is appointed over Esav, lo hishlim emo Esav, he didn't make peace with the Esav yet. So therefore, Shalach HaKodesh Baruch as Saro Shal Esav the Yaakov. So we have this piece where the angel of Esav, so to speak, and again I remain the representative of the Koach, of the power of Esav, came before Yaakov, Shiyashli Mito, and he made peace with him in the end. So that when Esav would finally show up, Sar Shalo, that would already be that the power that is behind Esav, Kavar Mishu'uvid, the Nichta the Yaakov, is already indentured and humbled before Yaakov. V'az b'meila gam Esav in alufov yuchrachu lahashli b'ma. This is a big secret, because then Esav and his 400 men, they'd all have to go along with that too. And that's what he said. As the Rav says many times, I'm speaking about the Ari, says many times, that you can only really, if your life has punishment in it, which all lives do, but you want to sweeten that, learn from it, grow from it, you have to be able to reach the source of where the din is coming from. This is, of course, the kavanah that we need to have in our prayers to try to reach that and try to make this into a refuah and write this into parnasa and make it what it is. But you need to be able to come to that source of what he's saying. That's the secret. So the secret is how to do that, of course. Begin kach b'kol asa tuk the elis. He says that every case that you find that the strength of what's down below depending on what it depends on the strength of what is up above. In other words, if you can conquer the root of the evil in Esav, then Esav is going to have to go, and make peace with you. The feet should be called makom toku v'chozek shalamata, so that we see the strength that's down below. How do we get to overcome Esav down here in this world? It really depends on the power that is coming from up above, if you could reach that. And once the bracha was made and it was discovered and he realized that he had given a bracha to Yaakov, not Esav. That's when Esav came in afterwards. And he says, who's there? The Zohar says, Masha Kasa mi Eifo. And Pirush Rashi says, Eifo, Hoya Ehu Epo, Hu Epa. Behu Va'epo Hu Hatzad Sayid. I'm not sure I got this right. Apab, so it says, who's the person that actually knows how to hunt? Shoyel my mi eso. The Zohar says like this. So what does he mean mi afo? Lama kosid mi afo. Why does it write mi afo? Shibarushu a po hatzad tzayid, who is here that knows how to really make a good meal out of hunted meat. Mihu zeh miboyle. You should say, who are you? Mihu zeh. Who is this? Mihu zeh ha'ish hukan. Who's the man that's here? That's what he should have said. Hoyitzarach lomar. But instead he said, mi afo, who is where? Ella, mi afo. I'm working on this. What's the meaning of mi afo? Ella Shamar Yitzchak the Esav kamasmech, like he was wondering what was going on, like he was amazed here. Mi hu po? Do you know who's here? Berchasi as Yaakov, who was here when I made the blessing to Yaakov, behind the kamish shechintataman, because now that the blessing was done, he realized that the Shechina was there the whole time. Kad barech le Yitzchak the Yaakov, when he blessed Yaakov, she'amda hashchina sham kashebarach Yitzchak as Yaakov. The Shechina was standing there, was in the presence of the Shechina when he blessed Yaakov. And then also that he also agreed that the brachos would be chal, that they would in fact take place. So then he says, mi efo, mi who is where? Pirush man hu the koyim hocho, who is it that is standing here? V'oder al inan berkon, the barchis lay, and who is it? Mi hu sha'amad kan, who is standing here? V'hoder al brachos kashabarchaz barachtio. So who was it that gave their agreement to the bracha? Vaday gam baruch yehia, and he says that certainly that bracha is going to take place. Vaday yiskaima brachos dehal kutra barichu, who is takas be'inim berkon. The Vishal Kodesh Baruch Hu hiski v'hoder al osav brachos, because he agreed. Kodesh Baruch Hu agreed on the brachos, that the brachos should be falling on Yaakov and not on Esav. And when the actual bracha took place, what tremendous simcha there was in heaven. And that's the. I think I could have done better with that mi efo. It says, everybody got any ideas on that? Mi efo, who is here? Who is where? Where are we? That's my best. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. This is Rosh Chodesh, the beginning of the month of Kislev.